Well said. Thank you. The Honorable Otiende.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to assure this House that this report was discussed in an atmosphere of collegiality. And indeed, there are no fundamental disagreements within the committee, not even with our counterparts from the Senate, at least for the meetings we attended. It is only three things that we must bear in mind. One, that this NADCO report was a ceasefire document. And like any ceasefire document, it must be treated with positivity and purposiveness. Wherever it appears not to achieve what was intended, it is our collective business to ensure it does. Secondly, it was fast-tracked for obvious reasons. The Honorable Murugara and I were in the first NADCO. For reasons we don't have to discuss now, it died a natural death, and we came to NADCO 2, and now we are here. The generality of the report is to support the NADCO report. But as with everything that was fast-tracked, there are some ideas that were left inchoate. They were incomplete. The committee endeavored to complete their purposes. In some instances, we were given options, as with the two-thirds gender. The report suggested...
The Honorable Sabina Chege shall do the right thing. She will always do the right thing in the House. You'll...
Crisscrossing.
No, you can't do that. This is your third term. This is your third term in Parliament. Do the right thing.
It is called compounding an impropriety. Thank you. So I was explaining, Mr. Speaker, that in some instances it gives us two options, as with the two-thirds gender. You could say you could go for top-up, or you could create special seats, or you could do what Honorable Karoli was suggesting. So the committee settled for the top-up, and I'll talk about that. But thirdly, the committee had an eye on legality throughout, that whatever proposal is made, it must be consistent with the law. Now, with that, Mr. Speaker, I am happy to say that I associate myself with the report of the committee. My divergence is only in 3 points. The first point, Mr. Speaker, is on the proposed amendment to Article 103. That is the question, the proposal of vacation of office of a member of parliament, and the same would go for governor or county assembly, where either one resign or is deregistered from a political party, in circumstances that would then be indicated. The point here is this: our constitution now, and I put that word there myself, has provision for deeming one to have left a political party. That provision has never been implemented in the 14 years that we've had the constitution. Why? Because it requires the speaker to do something else. The speaker must trigger it by now saying that the member is deemed. And as long as you don't present a letter, the speaker, wherever convenient, will not deem you to have left. I think it has brought a very untidy situation. I believe the position should be that when I'm elected a member of parliament, as indeed, Mr. Speaker, you are elected as a member of parliament for Ugenya on MDG, there are people who elect you because of you, and there are people who elect you because of the party. If you decide that the party is no longer important enough, then you should face your electorate yourself. And that is what the proposal sought to achieve. But the committee rejected it. I am persuaded, and on this we were with Honorable TJ Kajwang, that that provision should not be thrown out as the committee has proposed. It should be included so that we have some political hygiene. People don't just crisscross all over and think nothing of it. The second point, Mr. Speaker, you'll add me a little more, because you remember I had points of divergence. And so I am actually going to beyond the report that is there. But I'm only speaking to three things.
It's what you have first.
Yes. The second point is in relation to the question of Prime Minister. We pointed out there that the report uses the word Prime Minister, but everywhere else,
2 more minutes.
It is Cabinet Secretary. And so we thought that for consistency, there should be some consistency. But two things. One, some of us thought that we should go further. We should not shy away from recommending a parliamentary, if that's what we want. and then stop at having a presidential system and just changing names. And more importantly, I also pointed out there that this is a proposal that would require a referendum, and we must just be honest with it. Thirdly is on the 2/3 gender principle. Now, this is a very delicate thing because it's a question of achieving full representation as against the cost of representation. It's not an easy balance. And all I've pointed out there are two things. One, that as we do this, we must take the courage to go back to the people also in a referendum. Because if you look at Article 10(2)(a) and you look at Article 255, I'm persuaded that this is also a referendum question. Also because when you increase the number of members of parliament to beyond a certain level, you are not just affecting the functions of parliament, you are affecting the functionality of parliament. So as we are taking the other fundamental question, we must be prepared to take this question also so that Kenyans help us resolve that very delicate issue of cost versus representation. It is only on those three issues that I had a divergence with the committee. But on all the others, we are on all fours. So, Mr. Speaker, I support the report of the committee. Thank you.